Welcome in everyone. How you guys doing? If you guys inside there, hit that subscribe, like, and share. Really helps me out. I appreciate each and every one of you who's here with me right now. You could be elsewhere, but I got you for the time. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to be covering the unfortunate events that's been taking place in United States of America. They tried to assassinate the former president, Donald Trump. Yeah, it's serious. It's serious out here. This should be happening in 2024, regardless. So we got here MSNBC. Good morning, Joe. I think why is Trump exposed to the crowd for 9 seconds? Ooh. Yeah. So I've seen little clips of this already. You know what I mean? But let's just follow up and hear what the news and everybody else is saying.
Joe, as we've been reporting the last couple of days, the shooter here, a registered Republican, but also someone who gave $15 when he was 17 years old to a progressive group that gets voter turnout for Democrats. So everyone's sort of able to ascribe their priors and their own theories to that using those two truths.
I just seen the video.
It's hard to.
It's hard.
I keep getting shocked by it.
It's shocking. We may not know the why for some time, but Tom, the question I have is how? How did the Secret Service allow someone to have a straight line of sight to a former president who may be the next president, that an AR-15 could reach when the Secret Service and law enforcement obviously knows? An AR-15, as we've reported time and time.
See, this is why I'm going to say some unpopular things here. This is why so many people are believing that this is staged. Now, I'm not saying it's staged. I'm not saying it's not. You understand me? But based on the evidence coming forward, you can tell, like, this was real. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Like, this wasn't no joke. So it's more leading into the, yo, this is real shit here. Now, as I said, back to why people are thinking this, they had clear line of sight to the motherfucker. People were telling them there's a dude up there. You understand what I'm saying? The man's on top of a roof with a f***ing sniper rifle. How were you able to get on top of the roof? How were you able to be in a line of sight of Donald Trump? How? Why? Like, what the fuck? You know, in 2024, especially when dealing with the Secret Service, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ray Tate or whoever's in charge of his detail. Don't want to just call names because it could be whoever's in charge of that. You understand? This does not happen. So, seeing that this did happen, yeah, there's a lot of questions needing to be answered because this is some bullshit. This is 2024. Like, yeah.
Again, through the years, is the weapon of choice of disturbed young men, and it's within range there. Why weren't there sharpshooters on top of that building? Why were people yelling for almost 90 seconds? There's a shooter on top of the building.
See what I'm trying to tell you?
What the hell was going on there? Here's where they're yelling. There's a shooter up there.
So you trying to tell me the people... Hold on. Let me get this right. I'm not laughing. This is not funny, but I'm smiling in the sense of this is a fucking joke, right? You trying to tell me that the people on the ground attending the rally spotted the shooter before the security detail? What happened to sweeping an area before the vice president, the president? Because they still get a security detail for the rest of their life from the time you've been the president. Yeah. Sweeping the area, taking out any possible threats or areas that can be covered that can be deemed a threat before he goes up, before he even reaches to that venue. This is why people thinking this is a joke. This is a movie, right? This gotta be I said, I can understand why people are thinking this. I was thinking this as well too. But the more evidence comes out, it's kind of, your brother really tried to assassinate the fucking president, you know. Now, who's this boy? Like, what's happening? But they say he was a Republican. They're saying about $15 put towards to something, but they're saying he was a Republican. Still, it doesn't matter what side you're on. All of that. They really tried to kill Donald Trump. What the fuck? That shouldn't be happening. Whether or not you like or hate the man, it should never reach the stage where you want him killed. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what no one says. I ain't wishing death on nobody. Yeah, I may not be a fan, but at the same time, I will never wish death on somebody I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just no. That's not how the system is meant to run. That's not how it's meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. This is 2024. We can't be playing these games.
And 90 seconds. And Tom, I want to show you another video. And, you know, I would love to hear from you even too on this. Look how long. Look how long Donald Trump is exposed. What are these Secret Service people doing? Look how long he is exposed to a second, third, fourth shooter. Show that video again. A second, third, fourth shooter. I mean, the thing is, the Secret Service has always been trained. When you hear a shot, when you have a threat, get on top of the president, get on the top of the person that you were protecting, and stay there. Here, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
completely exposed.
8, 9. 9 seconds, I'm counting right there, Tom, before the edit. Who trained these people? How could anybody in a leadership position in the Secret Service still have a job this morning?
Well, I think there's probably a reason why they still have a job, is that they have a job to do with respect to the RNC. I completely understand your point. I think looking last night at the video that we saw of Trump moving through the crowd at the RNC, it appeared to me to be a very different approach. The amount of Secret Service agents that were between Trump and the crowd at the RNC.
Did they have an exit strategy in case of an emergency? Like taking him through the crowd, were they using the crowd as a shield? I mean, like, come on, man, there should have been an exit strategy for him. The minute there was an issue, down, bang, he's out. What's going on here, man? What's going on here, man? As I'm saying, like,
there was no point where there appeared to be any sort of extended gap between kind of human to human and as far as the agents, you know, essentially elbow to elbow, and Donald Trump as he's moving to the position that he ultimately took. And this is inside a building where there is no outside exposure, where everybody had to go through a magnetometer that's a controlled space. So I think that kind of underscores obviously a change. With respect to all of your questions, they're all the exact questions that we have, Joe. You know, we hear so often about the ability of the Secret Service to jump in, to move somebody out of the scene, to get them in the car and get them on the way. I think there's a lot of questions as far as the timing of that. Back to the original component of it.
And Tom, I'm so glad you talked about the car, because not only did they give a second, third, fourth shooter that could very well have been there 9 seconds while he was up on the stage, where his head was actually higher than all of theirs. But then he did something that the Secret Service, that well-trained Secret Service members never do. They let him stand up and wave to the crowd from the car. Now, of course, every politician is going to want to do that, to say, I'm okay, I'm all right. But I always remember after 9/11, George W. Bush ordering the Secret Service to fly him back to Washington, D.C. And finally,
I look at both sides. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this is why a lot of people thought what they thought, because it looked like the perfect photo opportunity. Like the photo up, like the fist in the ear, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, though, let's look from the other side. What the fuck were they doing? Man, you grab him. I don't care if he's ignorant, he's stubborn. No, bruv, you pick him, grab him, and you drag him out if you have to. Man, I'm not trying to say movies are a perfect replica of what happens in real life. But even in the movies, bruv, when a shot goes off, that president doesn't have no say. He has no say. It won't grab and they drag him. No, we have your family, so then you can't. They're taking you. You don't have no choice. You don't have no say in this. This is a sad representation of what they should be, what they were trained for. Were these agencies? Like you go to agencies to hire people. Like, did they have like a side agency or something that they went and recruited some people because what? They were running out of agents or something? Like, what's going on here?
Service members saying, I'm sorry, Mr. President, this isn't your plane. This is our plane. Our job is to protect you first. We saw the same thing on January 6th when President Trump wanted to go up to the Capitol. The Secret Service said no. But here we have people around him that are exposing him for 9 seconds. And then he gets to the car and they let him stand up once again and expose his head, which again is what a politician would do. He stands up and waves back to the crowd there.
You could see his head the whole way.
But
so.
I guess I should just ask you this. Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a group of Secret Service people so fail the person they were supposed to protect?
Well, I think one of the natural answer to that is we've so rarely seen this. And so the question might be, is the Secret Service being adequately trained? So if you're a police officer, you're dealing with calls every single day. If you're an FBI
Tom,
agent...
Isn't this what they train for their entire life? If you're going to protect the President of the United States.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between...
Isn't this what they're trained to do their entire life?
Sure. I mean, look, there's a difference between when you're doing it in a training exercise and there's a difference when it's real life. And so I think there's going to be a lot of questions about whether or not the Secret Service is in a position. I know there are people inside the tactical community that believe should people be rotated in and out of the Secret Service, people that deal with tactical situations more often. And so should that be something where you're not just in the Secret Service, but you're getting more real world type of experience? I think of in New York City, if this incident happened in New York City, you would not only have...
I'm just saying, and some of the first training you have when you are protecting someone, close protection details, is to always keep your client out of any harm or any kind of trajectory or danger that could happen. So their head, towards the main part should always be covered. Even while they're walking, see how his head, you have a few hands on the back of his head or somebody blocking, like always. Somebody takes off a jacket and covers it while they all surround and take him to the car, so you might not know who it is. Hey, maybe it's me.
I would posit that this incident would not happen in New York City, but of course the resources available in Butler County, Pennsylvania are different than the NYPD's. But the people that would be doing this with the Secret Service from the NYPD are kicking in doors every single day on crimes. They're in high-risk situations all the time. And so is this a question where the Secret Service, the people that are doing this type of work, do they need to be cycled in and out of other different types of environments so there's more real-world training? I mean, the last time they actually, real-world experience, the last time they really had to deal with this was the Reagan shooting. Now, I know that people in the Secret Service are going to say, look, you have no idea the type of training that we do. We go through all these type of scenarios. We drill on it all the time, and I have no doubt about it. I think to go back to some of the original videos that you were showing there, in a little bit more of my expertise and a little bit more of my reporting, with respect to what happened on the roof, it is our reporting from 4 officials, and my colleagues Jonathan Dienst and Julia Ainsley, that, in fact, they were aware of this person. He was acting suspiciously around the magnetometers. He was acting suspiciously around the crowd. The crowd picked him out. There was a communication back to the command post. What happened there? The Secret Service has its own radio system, its own radio frequencies. It's encrypted. There's all sorts of good reasons for that. But what was the communication between local law enforcement and the Secret Service? And was the threat acted upon quickly enough? Were there also police assets that were there that they thought maybe this individual was part of the police? Or should there have been a much stronger uniformed police presence? And was it upon the Secret Service to say, hey, this area is a vulnerability. We don't have the agents to cover it. That's not necessarily our job. But we want a uniformed officer that can see another uniformed officer at every single time.
You guys hit me down in the comments, I like to open the base of discussion, you know. Do you think it was an inside job? 'Cause I just don't get how he's able to climb all the way up there, rifle everything, set up shop as if he was ready to have a picnic. You know what I'm saying? And still come on now. So yeah, y'all think it's an inside job within his personal detail? Y'all think it might be the Democrats have something to do with this? Yeah. Or do you all think that Trump somehow might have had something to do with this because elections are coming up? You know, because you know he's going to win after this. Yeah. The tragedy of all this is a person that lost their life. That is factual and that's real. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to whoever it was. I think I heard a father was trying to protect his daughter or son. I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? So that was real. We ain't gonna lie about that. But yeah, what do you guys think? Inside job? Democrats? Or was this self-doing to hopefully win the election? You know, what do you guys think? Hit me down in the comments. I'm going to be reading the comments. I'd like to know what people think about this whole situation. As I said, this is tragic. This is sad. This should be happening in 2024. Yeah. Do y'all think they'd be changing gun laws after this? Because this means like it just shows anybody could get a gun. You know, what do you think? I think it was finished. Let me play the rest.
Time, and nobody gets on that property, and nobody gets on that roof. Again, all questions that we're asking, all questions that will need to be answered.
It's hard to look at.
But when you do look at that map, as you pointed out at the beginning of the program, it does raise serious questions, and I think that's...
I'll pause right there. But 130 yards. Get the fuck out of here, really? 130 yards, seriously. Are y'all for real, for real, for real? Y'all can't be for real, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Look, he was here, dead. Like, for real, for real, for real. Man. Alright, so, yeah, definitely hit me down in the comment section. You know what I mean? I'd really like to see what people think, what their opinion is. You know, let's not try and get into no clashes or fights online over people's answers, you know. I respect each and everyone's opinion. There's no wrong answer, no right answer. Until we get full detailed investigation put through and they're like, yep, receipts, this. Yo, you know, at the end of the day, though, that's why they tried to assassinate the ex-president. Damn. See you guys on the next one.